Beneath the blazing Egyptian sun, a timeless sentinel watches over the sands, the Great Sphinx of Giza, towering 66 feet high and stretching over 240 feet long. This colossal figure is carved directly from the bedrock of the plateau. Its face, worn by wind and time, still gazes eastward with an enigmatic calm, as though guarding secrets too ancient for the modern world to comprehend. For more than 4,500 years, according to mainstream history, the Sphinx has stood silently at the threshold of the pyramids. But many believe its story stretches even further back, far beyond the pharaohs, into the twilight of forgotten epochs. What was its true purpose? Why was it built? And more hauntingly, what lies beneath it? For centuries, whispers of subterranean chambers and hidden tunnels have echoed across the deserts of Giza. Ancient texts speak of halls of records, repositories of forbidden knowledge, buried beneath the very paws of the Sphinx. Explorers and mystics have claimed visions of vast libraries sealed beneath the sand, while skeptics dismissed such tales as myth. But the story doesn't end with legends. In recent decades, ground-penetrating radar, seismic surveys, and advanced imaging technology have confirmed the presence of anomalies, unnatural cavities, and voids beneath the Sphinx's base. Something is down there, something that doesn't belong. Are we standing atop the remnants of a forgotten civilization? A lost chapter of humanity buried beneath the stone? Or is the Sphinx simply a riddle meant never to be solved? Whatever the answer, one thing is certain. The Sphinx isn't just watching us, it's waiting. In 1939, an unassuming man in Virginia Beach closed his eyes and entered a trance. His name was Edgar Cayce, dubbed the Sleeping Prophet, and what he said would send shockwaves through the world of ancient history. Cayce claimed that beneath the Great Sphinx of Giza, sealed within the earth itself, lay a hall of records, a chamber preserving the forgotten knowledge of a lost civilization, a civilization known as Atlantis. According to Cayce, the Atlanteans, foreseeing the catastrophic end of their island empire, fled across the seas, carrying with them their sacred wisdom. Egypt, he said, was one of their chosen sanctuaries, and the Sphinx, not just a monument but a beacon, a marker, a stone guardian built above their buried legacy. Mainstream historians scoffed. Atlantis was a myth, they said, a philosophical allegory dreamed up by Plato. And Cayce? Just another mystic chasing dreams. But then, science began to catch up with legend. In the 1990s, a team of researchers conducted seismic and radar scans around the Sphinx. What they discovered stunned even the skeptics. Beneath the front paws of the statue, they detected symmetrical, rectangular anomalies, structures that were distinctly not natural. Cavity-like voids, perfectly shaped and precisely aligned. Could this be the entrance Cayce had spoken of? Were these chambers evidence of an ancient archive long lost to the sands of time? Egyptian authorities remained silent. Excavations were restricted, and questions began to pile up. Was it all coincidence? A natural formation misinterpreted by wishful minds? Or was Cayce, against all odds, telling the truth? The echoes of Atlantis seemed to murmur beneath the sand, hidden, silenced, waiting to be uncovered. In the early 1990s, two men ignited a firestorm in the world of archaeology: geologist Dr. Robert Schoch and rogue Egyptologist John Anthony West. Together, they presented a theory so controversial, it threatened to upend everything we thought we knew about ancient Egypt. Their research focused not on what the Sphinx was, but on what time had done to it. Schoch, trained in analyzing geological formations, noticed something curious. The deep vertical fissures along the Sphinx's body weren't consistent with wind or sand erosion. They looked, unmistakably, like the scars left by water-heavy, sustained rainfall over centuries. But there's a problem. The last time the Giza Plateau saw such rainfall was over 9,000 years ago. Their conclusion? The Great Sphinx wasn't carved during the reign of Pharaoh Khafre around 2500 BCE, as Egyptologists claim. Could be 9,000, even 12,000 years old. That would make it older than the pyramids, older than any known structure in Egypt, and possibly older than civilization itself. But the mystery only deepens. Subsequent ground-penetrating radar scans didn't just confirm one underground anomaly beneath the Sphinx. They revealed multiple hollow cavities, rectangular in shape, geometrically precise, some beneath the front paws, others extending beneath the bedrock as if part of a vast, interconnected system. Tunnels, chambers, possibly entire rooms sealed for millennia. Yet despite these discoveries, most of these areas have never been opened. Excavations remain heavily restricted. Permits are denied. Research is slowed, deflected, or quietly buried. Why? What secrets lie in these unopened chambers? Ancient technology? Historical records? Or something even more profound? What is so dangerous beneath the Sphinx that it must remain hidden, even from science itself? As the decades rolled on, curiosity around the Great Sphinx only grew. Independent researchers, university teams, and international organizations all set their sights on the chambers said to lie beneath the monument's weathered paws. But time and time again, their efforts met an unyielding wall, not of stone, but of bureaucracy. Some were denied access altogether. Others were granted limited permits, only to find their findings stalled, censored, or never released to the public. Reports were buried. Footage disappeared. In some cases, researchers simply went silent. Egyptian authorities have consistently maintained that these restrictions are for preservation, necessary to protect one of the world's most iconic monuments. And to an extent, that explanation makes sense. But beneath the surface, darker whispers emerge. Rumors swirl of unauthorized excavations carried out under the cover of darkness, of teams quietly flown in, conducting secret digs with no official record, of discoveries, artifacts, inscriptions, even sealed sarcophagi, immediately removed and hidden from public knowledge. Even Dr. Zahi Hawass, the former head of Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities and one of the most vocal guardians of Egyptian heritage, has acknowledged the existence of voids and tunnels beneath the Sphinx, yet he insists they hold nothing of significance. But critics ask, if there's truly nothing there, why the secrecy? Why the night digs? Why the refusal to allow full, transparent exploration? When truth is restricted, curiosity grows. And when silence persists, it often speaks louder than any denial. Is it possible that what lies beneath the Sphinx is more than Egypt's past? Could it be a truth too disruptive, too powerful, or too dangerous to be revealed? Whatever the reason, the sands of Giza seem to guard more than just history. They protect secrets the world may not be ready to face. For some, the mystery beneath the Sphinx goes far beyond lost scrolls or ancient tombs. They believe that hidden deep beneath its paws is something far more astonishing, evidence not of kings, but of capabilities. A lost science, a forgotten technology. According to this theory, the Sphinx is not merely a monument to the past, but a lock, a guardian built to conceal tools and knowledge that predate recorded history. Machines, energy systems, even devices capable of manipulating matter or vibration. Concepts that sound like science fiction, yet echo in myths from around the world. These aren't just wild fantasies. Supporters of this theory point to other ancient sites where conventional explanations fall short. At Pumapunku in Bolivia, enormous stones are carved with such precision that modern tools would struggle to replicate them. At Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, megalithic pillars, over 11,000 years old, stand in sophisticated arrangements long before writing, agriculture, or the wheel. How were they built? Who built them? And why? Mainstream archaeology offers answers, but often with gaps and assumptions. The more we discover, the more the timeline of civilization seems to unravel. Could it be that the Sphinx was left behind by a forgotten people? Those who possessed knowledge of geometry, energy, and construction that rivals or exceeds our own. If these chambers do contain ancient technology, it would mean rethinking everything, our timelines, our achievements, even our place in the story of Earth. It raises a chilling, humbling question. What if we are not the pinnacle of civilization, but merely the survivors of a cycle? And if so, what message did they leave for us beneath the sand? The Sphinx, silent and still, may yet be holding the key to a truth humanity has long buried, both literally and metaphorically. Today, in an age of satellites, laser scanning, and real-time global communication, the Sphinx still guards its greatest secret. Despite over 3 decades of seismic scans, ground-penetrating radar, and countless pleas from scientists and scholars, the chamber beneath the Sphinx remains officially sealed, untouched, unexplored, or so we're told. No cameras have descended into the void. No reports have been published. No artifacts revealed. In fact, no excavation of the chamber, if one has ever occurred, has been publicly acknowledged. Silence. Just silence. And in that silence, the theories multiply. Some believe it's only a matter of time before the chamber is opened and its contents shared with the world. Others are less optimistic. They suspect the dig has already happened quietly behind closed doors, and that what was found has been deliberately concealed, hidden from public view to protect political power, religious doctrine, or the fragile framework of our collective history. And then, there are those who believe the chamber must remain sealed. That what's buried beneath the Sphinx isn't just historically significant, it's dangerous. Knowledge that could destabilize religions, rewrite the story of humanity, or expose truths too overwhelming for civilization to absorb. Could it be the records of an ancient lost civilization? A glimpse into technologies that defy our current understanding? Or something more foreign? Something not of this earth? Theories abound. Answers remain buried. But one fact holds. The Sphinx is more than an ancient monument. It is a sentinel, a gatekeeper, a stone cipher watching over a secret humanity may not be prepared to face. And as the winds continue to shift the desert sands, the chamber remains sealed, waiting. To this day, no official excavation has confirmed the contents, or even the true nature, of the chamber said to lie beneath the Great Sphinx. No ancient scrolls, no lost technology, no definitive proof of Atlantis, pre-Egyptian builders, or forgotten civilizations. Maybe the stories are nothing more than myth, imagination fueled by centuries of mystery and longing. Perhaps we're simply projecting our deepest hopes and fears onto the weathered face of a statue carved millennia ago. But then again, maybe not, because sometimes legends don't fade, they whisper, and history has a habit of hiding its most important truths in the shadows, suppressed, protected, buried not just by sand, but by silence, bureaucracy, and fear. If what lies beneath the Sphinx challenges everything we know about our origins, religion, history, power structures, then maybe it is too dangerous to reveal. Maybe the truth isn't lost. It's being withheld. But the past is not patient. It doesn't stay buried forever. Every grain of sand the desert winds carry reveals a little more of what was once hidden. Each new discovery, each anomaly, each unexplained artifact challenges the carefully constructed narrative we've long accepted. And one day, the veil may finally lift. One day, someone may uncover the truth, and the Sphinx will no longer stand as the silent guardian of secrets, but as the gateway to a reality long denied. Until then, it watches, as it always has, unmoving, eternal, eyes fixed on the horizon, waiting for us to ask the right question, and to finally be ready for the answer. The sands of Egypt hide more than tombs. They hide the truth. If this story opened your eyes, help us uncover even more. Like, subscribe and share Empire Mindset, because every mystery solved begins with a question asked. Join the journey. The answers are beneath us.